Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're walking with Mr. Clay. I'm Mr. Clay. And we thank the Most High for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, and those of you who have been with us here and there's about, and those of you who are contemplating subscription, as well as those of you who have just subscribed. We thank God for you, you, and you. Like, share, and subscribe, and we're calling those things that are not as though they are. All praises to the Most High. Excuse me. Yes, we're in Isaiah chapter 20. Isaiah chapter 20, as you prepare, we thank the Most High that in this day and time, things are culminating. The key word that I've seen or that I've heard before was humiliation. The bully of the earth. The bullies of the earth. Humiliation. And I see the Most High is bringing that to pass. And it was just something that I see that is going on, and I understand the workings of corporate and military and all these other things, and I see humiliation. Because one thing, if you stay quiet enough and long enough and patient enough and study those who oppose you, you will find out their weaknesses, and you will find out their strengths, and how, no matter how strong they are, you will figure out a way to subdue them. But is this of the Most High, or this just by plain old wisdom? Either way, it's the Most High, because the Most High giveth wisdom in all things. Yes, the Most High does. Yes, and we thank God for that. The world is going through a transition right now. You've heard in time, 10 years, whatever you 20, however old you are, the world is going through swift transition. No, at that time it wasn't really a swift transition, but it was leading up. That was a gradual transition. Now we're getting to a part where we're getting to a culmination. We're getting to a climax of this whole situation, to where the powers that be, or these nations, will lose their pride. The peoples that have a great pride, and peoples that have great disdain for the I Am and for the way of the I Am, will be subdued, and then those that subdue them will be subdued until the Most High redeems the children of Jacob, the remnant that is proclaimed in the book of Enoch. Yes. Now we're in the book of Isaiah chapter 20, and it reads, "In the year that Tartan came unto Ashdod, that's when King Sargon, the king of Assyria, sent him, and fought against Ashdod, and took it." Now this is the same year. You hear about Sargon and some of these older movies, the Scorpion King and all this stuff, and at this time, this was ancient, but it was after the Genesis thing, if you want to put it that way, or after the Genesis, should I say, era. Now we're in the era of the Most High is setting up in a gradual state to weed out until the remnant of Israel is finally identified and redeemed, even unto this day. Now, so what happened was, Tartan took Ashdod. These are Canaanitish lands, yes. And at that time came the I Am, the same time that, should I say, Tartan took Ashdod, at that same time, he's saying here, the I Am said by Isaiah the son of Amos, saying, "Go and loose the sackcloth from off thy loins, and put off thy shoe from thy foot." And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. Some say, "Oh, that's so bad, that's so nasty of the Most High to do." You're always naked before the Most High. That doesn't excite the Most High, whether you male or female. You're always naked. I don't care how big of a breast you have, woman, or BBL, or whatever you have. You're naked before the Most High, and it does not move the Most High in that area. the standard of men in beauty. Yes, the Most High will claim I have gave him some. He knows the standard of beauty for the woman, and he knows the standard of heaviness, or should I say handsomeness, for the man. Does that move him to want to be a part of the man or the woman, or to, should I say, copulate with them? No. Nothing in that area will ever tempt the Creator at all. And the I Am said, like as my servant Isaiah hath walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and wonder upon Egypt, upon Ethiopia. Now these lands are warm. This man walked with everything hanging out. But what was it? It was his respect and fear for the power and majesty of the Most High, and his trust in the wisdom and the purpose that the Most High had purposed all these things for, and that who can resist the will of the Most High? This is what this is all about. Isaiah. And we have to really understand this. And most men and prophets and prophetess these days are doing everything to exalt themselves in the name of their idol, this Messiah or this New Testament entity, or in the name of the Creator, which is blasphemy. And so they think that they're going to receive a just reward because of their much speaking. It's not so. It's your much living, keeping the standards regardless of whether you are with or without the presence of the Most High. That you're not just led by a feeling, but you're led by the commandments, statutes, and ordinances of the Most High. That is that which keeps you in your confidence in the Most High and your respect for the Most High. So here we got Isaiah walking naked, barefoot, 3 years as a wonder upon Egypt and upon Ethiopia. Now you have to realize that area is basically warm. It's at that time it most likely was not desert, but it was like neither cold nor hot, according to as the Most High said in the book of Jasher. This is the lot of the children of Shem, an area that's cold nor hot. And the Most High has, because of what had happened and the sins and the things that have happened, this area has become basically desert. Now, he said 3 years, so shall the king of Israel, Assyria, this is the sign. This is why the Most High allowed it, that they might get it. If they ask a question, why are you walking naked? Then he can say what the Most High, the message that the Most High have given unto him. Yes. He says, so shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians prisoners and the Ethiopians captive. Now this is where the color and the degradation of the Egyptians occurred. This is where the replacement of the Egyptians occurred. Those who say the Egyptians you see in this day are because of this. They were led early away, and they think that they are the lineage of Mizraim, when Mizraim was a Hamite, and many say Hamites are black, or they are African type people, or Afrocentric people, or Afro-Asiatic people. But it's not so. This is where the Ethiopians start to degrade, and the Most High will totally remove them from off their land as the years go by. So, captives, the young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. Why? He already said that in the previous chapter, that the Egyptians was artillery. Your bulls, your different gods that you have, and your Anunnaki and all this other stuff, and the thievery and the lies that you told on your obelisk and all these other things you've deceive the people with, and that you foolish ones that will go and praise and solicit the things of Egypt when it's really nothing. The Most High does not delight in Egypt. The Most High delights in righteousness, which is by the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances that the Most High put forth, even unto Moses for the children of Jacob, for an example unto the world on what the Most High desires. These things were done early in time. They were done early. You don't need no prophecy of no Jesus or no Yahushua or no Husha. You don't need that. The Most High have already, the laws and statutes, even to the points where even in the United States among the Aboriginals, they knew who the one God is. And even to this day. But there is a great delusion that is given to you. It's called the message of the New Testament. That's what it is. Now, and they shall be afraid and ashamed of Ethiopia, their expectation, and of Egypt, their glory. Who shall be ashamed? Who? He says that so shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians prisoners and the Ethiopians captive. The young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. And they shall be ashamed of Ethiopia, their expectation, and Egypt, their glory. Would he be talking about Assyria? Or would he be talking about Egypt ashamed of Ethiopia, or Cush, or Aksum, or Nubia, whichever you want to call it? But there was no Africa. Africa never had a name. None of the whole world never had a name until the Europeans came. Those who were of the north parts, when, should I say, Japheth went in black and came out white and mixed with the rest of the world. Yes. Now, and they shall be afraid and ashamed, Ethiopia their expectation, and of Egypt their glory. So apparently today Egypt is the glory of many. They rise up because people love evil. They love the witchcraft. They love the magic. They love the lighting and the lightnings and the thunders. This amazes you because you have the power now. And it can lead to other things that will lead to the wrath of the Most High upon you and yours. Then you wonder why the things happen that happen to you, O original man. Why do they praise the woman more than they do the man? Degrade the man and make him lose his woman. Because you are the original man. You are the Adam. You are the Adamah. You are the one, the descendant of the one that brought, that the rib was taken out of to create his mate. Your rib remains because the DNA remains that you should have that rib. But that one Adam that lived longer than any man, if there's a man that can live longer than Adam, then that thing, he has to be the Messiah. No, your Isis never did. Or your Yahushua, your Yahusha, whatever you want to call this entity, no. He died just like any other man and ascended into heaven like they say. Elijah did it, he ascended into heaven. Whatever. Moses did it, he ascended into heaven. But then they made them gods, and that they came back and told. These were just symbolic of that the Most High will resurrect them. And they made it a symbolic thing that they're gods, they're in heaven now. Enoch went into heaven. That's the only man that went into heaven, or should I say, the realm of the Most High. still there to this day because Enoch was the friend of the Most High. The Most High used Enoch more than the Most High used the angels. Well, let us continue with this last verse. And the inhabitants of this isle shall say in that day, behold, such is our expectation, whether we flee for help to be delivered from the king of Assyria, or how shall we escape? So with that, we know that the Most High was still, at this point in Isaiah's vision, he was still in the days of this, before the Assyrians took captive, but he could see straight forward what is going to happen after Syria takes Judah, even Israel, captive. And that these nations would come right after him, conquering and being conquered. And there will come a nation that the Most High will use, which is called the day of the I Am. The Revelation got that all wrong. Which will become the day of the I Am. The day of the I Am is when Persia, the Most High used Persia, built Persia up from nothing and caused them to subdue all the known world at that time like a cloud upon a mass of land. Mighty did the Most High do this. But then we know afterwards, through subtlety and many other ingenuitive ways, the Most High brought the Greeks. This is why you have the saying, you can't trust a Greek. And this is how even slaves were wrought, not through defeat in the 1300s. Subtlety of the New Testament. Subtlety, your idolatry is not good as our idolatry. In other words, they had their idol Jesus, and you had some other thing you prayed to. But then your understanding was darkened, and that you fell into a state of stupor to sell your own brother for trinkets when you had everything right under your feet even to this day. Now, how shall we escape? How shall we escape? He says, this is the wrath of the Most High. Assyria is the wrath of the Most High upon the children of Israel and upon those who know the Most High. But Ethiopia escaped because Ethiopia accepted the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High at that time. They were delivered eventually. Although they had to deal with some degradation here, they still stand today. But we'll get more into this as time goes. But if we keep those things that the Most High have delivered unto us through the prophet Moses, even his laws, commandments, statutes, and ordinances, we will have peace.